Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Motorcycle Vision. My name is Steve. We did get mixed up in the HBO Max battle. If you don't know about this, if you're a Roku user or a Fire Stick user and you want HBO Max, you can't have it because HBO Max is fighting with Roku and Amazon, so you can't get it. Well, my Rokus are all brand new. I am an HBO subscriber and I use Verizon. So because of that, I get HBO Max, but I can't watch it. So I do get the HBO app, which shows me all the HBO content, stuff like that. Okay. So I'm watching the HBO content. My son came up with a quick fix. When he gets his PS5, he's going to give me his PS4, and his PS4 is an HBO Max approved device. But all in all, there isn't that much on HBO Max that I really want to see. There's one show I want to see. I think it's something about, you have to be from the northern Jersey area to know what I'm talking about. But there was an amusement park in the late 80s and 90s called Action Park. Oh, I remember. The show is called Class Action Park. And you really won't appreciate it unless, like I said, you grew up there. But the story with Class Action Park was like one of those summer amusement parks that they put together with the water slides and the go-karts and the little racing boats and things like that. That's what it was. And it was very early on, so I don't remember there being a lot of them around that time. But what was funny about Action Park, well, not fun, I guess to a kid, which I was funny was they had no concept of safety. Nothing. So like, I'll give you some examples of things I remember. I remember they had this rope that you would jump off a cliff, you'd swing on a rope, jump off a cliff, let go and land in a pool. The pool was real, meaning it was a real lake, it was a real whatever it was, pond. It was real, it wasn't man-made. So it would be a hot day and you'd land in that and it would be freezing water. And, ambulances were always stationed there because it was like people would have heart attacks when they hit the water. There were these little go-karts and you could, race people with these little go-karts. And they had these little limiters on them. And the idea with the limiters was, you'd jam a tennis, they would keep you from going over 15 miles an hour. But the staff would jam tennis balls into the limiter. And now those little carts could do 55, 60 miles an hour on these little tracks. So you can imagine the accidents that happened. The little boats had the same limiters. So they had the same accidents. So I just remember a whole lot of stories like that. I remember they had this tube that it looked like a water slide, okay? But it was like, you drop down, loop, and come out. And kids would come out with missing teeth, broken fingers, things like that. And if you grew up in that area, it became like a badge of honor, I guess. What did you break? I broke a finger. What did you break? Oh, I had a concussion. What did you get? And that's what it was like. I know you sitting there going like, this is horrific. I can't believe it. But if you grew up there, you're like, that's what it was. So the show on HBO Max is called Class Action Park. And it's about the lawsuits and stuff like that. And my wife did not grow up in this area. So I used to tell her these stories. And she thought, I'm making it up. She thought, that's not true. He's exaggerating. He's trying to make himself look cool. All of the things his wife says to her husband. And out comes this movie, Class Action Park. And all of a sudden, there's documented proof of all of the stories I told her. So I can't wait for her to watch it with me. And that's the reason that I want to get HBO Max. Because all the other shows that they're showing, I can get from the HBO application that is on the Roku. So I don't really care. But just this one. And I don't even want to watch it as much as I want her to watch it. And I want to watch her watching it, if that makes sense. If you're married, you understand. Still love doing that. Anyway, If you're married, this entire story makes sense to you. And I've taken, my wife to that amusement park. Before you go, it's that deadly, and you took the woman you married. Well, since then, somewhere in the early 90s, it actually went out of business, and it came back under a new name. Its new name is Mountain Creek. Mountain Creek actually applied safety guidelines to it, so nobody's getting killed over there anymore. Mountain Creek actually observes it, and they don't have the problems that they had back when they were Action Park. So she never believed my stories. Now she can watch it herself, and she's going to look at it, and she's going to be horrified. And I'm going to be laughing like an idiot, which is only going to make me look more like an idiot to her. It literally is one of those, you just had to be there. You just had to grow up near there. And when I was a kid, I used to spend all my summers near that town. Look it up. Look up Action Park on Google. There'll be pictures, you'll find stories, you'll see all of the things that I'm telling you about. You may even find, a link to that HBO show. Ironically, all I can tell you is the stories are true. I was there. I did see it. So I have a question. In fact, I have two questions. Let's start with question number one. Why is it when you're riding along and your helmet's on and both hands are on the handlebars, that's the moment your head itches? All day you go along and your head doesn't itch. When the bike's not moving, your head doesn't itch. Soon as you can't do anything, your head itches. Why is that? That's my first question. My second question is about YouTube itself. So, what makes people subscribe or notice one channel versus another channel? I ask this one because I think I'm posting 30 videos up, and I got some of my views are up to 200 views, which is really cool. But I'm just curious, if anybody knows, how do you grow a channel? What do you do? How do you publicize them? Because the only thing I'm doing is posting videos. Well, I think that's about it for today. So, hope you're enjoying these rides. If you are, please send me a comment or subscribe to my channel. You can sign up and hit the little bell, and you'll get notifications every time I post something. So thank you. Ride safe, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.